I was recently gifted this speaker with the sole instruction to make it sound better. Let's get a baseline before we go any further and see how much we can improve it. In order to know if we've improved this speaker or not, we need to get a baseline. So let's have a listen to a song through this speaker. Well, apparently it's on max volume because it doesn't have any volume controls. And I'm not talking particularly loud, and I'm about the same volume as it, so it's not a great start. Also, it sounds absolutely awful. Let's crack it open. To crack this speaker open, I first have to remove this rubber ring on the base of the speaker. I then have to remove 4 screws securing the base to the top. With the screws removed, you simply separate the 2 halves. And this is where my disappointment peaked, because this is not what you want to find inside a speaker. A simple circuit board, a driver and a battery. Nothing is actually secured in. It's all kind of press-fitted together. My first approach to try and improve the sound quality was to fill the speaker with some sound deadening material. In this case, toilet paper. I just wanted to see if it would make any difference. I have the reassembled speaker here, and although it's notably heavier, it hasn't made that much difference to the sound quality. Loro non sanno di che parlo, vestiti sporchi fra di fango, giallo di... This means we're going to have to delve deeper and look at some more scientific approaches too. The results are in, and it's terrible. Like, really terrible. This is my desk speakers for contrast, and they don't even sound particularly good. What I've done now is applied a counter curve to it, which basically means I've taken the high points and brought them down, and taken the low points and increased them. Let's have a listen now. For the first time, it sounds notably better, but let's take a look at the graph. Drum roll, please, and bam! It's a lot flatter, but we still have no bass. The speaker now sounds notably better, and is probably fine for most things like watching YouTube or listening to phone calls. The problem is that 60 Hz point, there is nothing below that, and that's where your drums and bass sit in music. I want to now test whether that's a result of a crappy driver or a crappy amplifier, and to do that I'm going to unsolder the driver and I'm going to put a probe on it to test the frequency response. I'll be back with that graph shortly. My first result was incredibly underwhelming, but then I realised that I still hadn't removed the curve I applied to fix it. Anyway, this is the actual graph. Not the flattest in the world, but still pretty good. I hate the fact that there's no cutoff in the bass, because that will shred your drivers. I may have done a thing. So you see, the thing is, basically, the amplifier was fine, but the driver was possibly the worst driver that has ever existed in the history of literally ever. So I got 2 better ones and made a box. We do still have the original circuit board in the back, and we do still have the original bass, and I've used the original driver as a tweeter. So it is still the original speaker, it just has 2 additional drivers, which mean that now it sounds good. Let's have some Ed Sheeran, because that's the mood I'm in. I missed the play button. She played the fiddle in an Irish band. She fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance. I met her on Grafton Street, right side of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. She asked me, what does it mean? started off by designing a very simple high-pass filter to use in the circuit. I then soldered this up on a prototype board before connecting it all up and 3D printing a case to put it in. I just screwed all the components into this and I was done.